the power that Daniel brings on set. Daniel you take this in, okay? You take it in, you lap it in. I'm always just...
I'm leaving.
No.
If we don't do this, there will be nothing left to save.
We've seen other Bond villains present themselves as dark mirrors of the Bond character, but what would you say makes Safin different and quite possibly the deadliest one of the bunch?
For me, I thought what's going to make this the most difficult time for Daniel's final outing. I mean, to go through Casino Royale and Quantum and then Skyfall, Spectre. I just watched everything he was doing, everything he had to deal with in all those films, and tried not to look at any other villains and make it very specific to him. And so for me, with Cary, just wanted to make it more about Daniel than any other villain in the past and what he was having to go to battle with. I had some time with Cary before, maybe a year prior to shooting, and then went to go finish Mr. Robot. And so we would have conversations back and forth, but we just kept thinking, you know, what haven't we seen in a Bond villain before? What haven't we seen in a dangerous, deadly plot that would be absolutely terrifying? And tried to weave those things into this character, and again, make it a really, really trying time for Daniel in his last film.
On Her Majesty's Secret Service really serves as a cornerstone to this film in everything from the story to the music. Would you be able to tell me more about how you landed on that film as sort of the final thread in Daniel Craig's era?
Yeah, On Her Majesty's Secret Service was one of those Bond films that sort of slipped through my general knowledge of the series. You know, I knew that it existed. I knew there was the singular Bond film from George Lazenby, but I'd never seen it until I was doing the research for the screenplay. So once I got this job at September 2018, I started rewatching and triple watching and, you know, whatever, multiple viewings of different films and going back to scenes from all the Bond films. And I was actually really blown away by On Her Majesty's Secret Service. It felt kind of like a film that was outside of the franchise in a lot of ways. And even just the style and execution, the cinematic style, the craft, I was just really moved by.
This never happened to the other fella.
And then again, the storyline with Teresa and what happens at the end of that film is also heartbreaking. And I was like, there's something here to play with. And then, you know, Louis Armstrong's theme song became one of my favorites. And then every time I saw it then in the other, you know, successive Bond films, and recognized it then from that film, it kind of moved me even more. And I knew I wanted to use it in this one.
As we know, both of you have had the 007 designation in No Time to Die. And there's a lot of gags about confusion as to who everyone's speaking to. Was there ever a day on set where it really was confusing?
You think I'm going to be confused with the power that Daniel brings on set? I don't think so. Daniel you take this in, okay? You take it in, you lap it in. I'm always just...
I'm leaving.
No. Daniel's a powerhouse. I've watched you before Bond, I've watched you during Bond, and now working with Daniel, I see just how hard he works, just how much he injects into every single department on the set. I've seen him move wires when we've had to go from one moment to the other quickly. I've seen him, you know, handle something that's gone wrong in the moment and no one's even realized because he handled it so quickly. So honestly, you're seamless, and he's truly amazing. It was amazing to just watch and witness how to carry a franchise in that way. Because
I'm going to throw some back at him right now. Shush. I'm going to throw some back at him right now.
On.
Because, you know, yeah, I know you've picked out something that's of interest, and it is of interest, and it's a great plot point, and it's, you know, it's important. It's an important thing in the movie, but it's more important is the relationship the two people have in the movie. And Lashana came in to this part, and we had an idea with the help of Phoebe and the other writers. The part grew, but it's Lashana's performance that makes this what you want to go and see. The 007 designation, all of that is sort of a sideline compared with what Lashana brings to this film. So that's what people, I hope, are going to be looking forward to.
I thought you two would get along.
Certainly. I mean, the chemistry between you two is amazing.
Clearly amazing.
What do you think will be the defining characteristic of the Daniel Craig era of James Bond?
I mean, that guy has the most masculine way, an elegance to him that I thought he brought to the character. And yeah, I think what he created with Bond was actually a beautiful, beautiful balance of masculinity, sensitivity, and just strength.
Yeah, I think there's, as I was watching the film the other night, realizing that there's been a very considered veering away from a certain type of masculinity toward a masculinity that allows the power of these women around him to exist. His is a Bond that is less about, pure sex and more about like kind of a sexual love. There's a sense of there's a much more complicated emotional life to his Bond than has previously existed, and it's pretty it's pretty powerful stuff.
I think that he really changed the tone of the film, and he made his character more interesting in the sense that he gave his character also depth and he has paradoxes, and he's vulnerable. He's more human in a way, and I think it's really Daniel who wanted to have also more interesting female characters. So because of him, or thanks to him, I would say, we have now like very interesting characters in James Bond, and maybe before women were a bit like on the surface, or they were like sexualized, objectified,
Yeah.
And it really feels like now they are just as interesting. I mean, female characters are as interesting as male characters, and that was needed.
Why would I betray you?
We all have our secrets. We just didn't get to yours yet.
A lot of people have speculated that you're the new Dr. No, and we're not going to answer that here, but the film does, and I know you've had so much fun with the guessing game. Are you sad that the truth is finally here?
No. I mean, people have been asking, it's been so difficult keeping the secret for 2 years, and it's not, because we can already see the success that the film is having in the box office. And so we have this opportunity to reinvigorate cinema, and all these kind of guessing games that people have had just makes it for, I think, more rewarding experience when you get the answers from questions that you've been waiting for 2 years. It's going to be a really rewarding experience for people, as it has. We've seen it be in London and all over the UK thus far. People seem to be going bananas over there. I hope the same thing happens here.
Felix Leiter finally returns. How does it feel to be the longest incarnation of the character, and what new aspects did you want to bring to the table for this time out?
Yeah, I mean, it's good to be back. I kind of missed, being there for the previous two films.
I need a favor, brother. You're the only one I trust for this.
And I'm just really stoked that they invited me back and invited Felix back to help round it out at the end of the day. There were things that were left, unresolved the last time I was there. So, it's nice. And it's nice that, to have been there at the start with Daniel and then to be there at the end, feels good, and it feels right. I'm really proud that, of what he's done with this, and proud to have supported him through it, It's really cool that Madeleine is a rarity in the James Bond universe, because she seems to be the person that's gotten closest to James at the beginning of No Time to Die. How would you say that affected your approach to the character as opposed to when we first saw you in Spectre?
I think that in Spectre, she was kind of mysterious, maybe. We didn't really know her, apart the fact that she was Mr. White's daughter, And this time with Cary, we wanted to explore the character a bit more, and he Cary gave her depth, and I think it was important also for the audience to understand her, a bit more, and also understand the relationship that she has with Bond and why they are so connected. I think it's the first time that we see a Bond girl who's not like in a bathing suit or in a sexy dress. She's just a normal woman with imperfections and vulnerability.
Daniel, we know that you celebrated getting the role with victory martinis while filming The Invasion. But after giving that touching speech on set your final night, how did you celebrate wrapping James Bond?
Negronis.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair. And another Fleming drink, so just that shows your dedication right there. Lashana?
I'm so dedicated when it comes to
really? Lashana, there's been a history of strong characters that have kind of been, like, fans want to see spin-offs from. And Nomi certainly is another step in that direction. Do you think she will be the one that finally makes it happen? And would you want to return for that?
I don't know. I honestly don't know what Barbara Broccoli, Michael Wilson, everyone have planned. It is always weird to say goodbye to a character when you've given so much to them and you know them inside out and you love them. Like, she kind of became a best friend of mine as I was working through her over the month. So, everything under the sun would be wonderful for Nomi. If it was a TV show, I'd be like, gosh, there's so many ideas, there's so many things you could get in there with just her background and how she became a 00 agent, yada, yada. But I don't know. If we never see her again, I think she came in and went out with a bang, and that's the most important thing.
Sort of going back to the classics, I read that View to a Kill was one of your absolute favorites. And was that what helped you unlock the humor in No Time to Die?
I don't know if A View to Kill was the key to the humor. I think there's a style of humor in these films that sort of, we did play to a little bit. I think A View to a Kill, what it really did is it was the first time I think I'd seen a film that was staged where I was from. I'm from the San Francisco Bay Area, and the whole final scene with Christopher Walken takes place on the Golden Gate Bridge. I can go outside, my house at the time and look across the bay and see Golden Gate Bridge. So it was pretty amazing to see that. But humor-wise, no, I think I don't know where our humor came from. It just came out of that Bond tone.
There is one. Yes. Oh, and it is because of your final moment in the film with no details.
Yeah.
Was it hard to deliver that scene without crying yourself?
You have no idea how hard it was. It was very, very hard, yeah. Even now, I knew it was Daniel's last film, and I felt like a bit of a pressure, I was like, it's really important. Like, it's, it is that. He gave like 15 years of his life for this character, and it really feels. No Time to Die closed the loop in a way, and that was like, it's a very important scene, and it was like I had to like I had to make it like the best possible.